Wanna know the secret to ranking up? Well, I think I figured it out. I gained 110 RR in under 3 hours right here. You can see the proof. This all happened in 3 hours. I'll show you proof that it actually happened only under 3 hours. Like right here, you should see like the time, right? It's like 20 minutes, like an hour ago, 2 hours ago. And like last game, the fifth one is 3 hours ago. So this, I won 5 games in a row in 3 hours. And I didn't have no crazy stats, guys. I didn't go crazy. I didn't lock all duelists. I didn't have insane like 40 kills game. No, none of that. I was just playing like a simple average player. And let me tell you how I did it. Do you see anything different here? Well, I didn't play any duelists. Let me tell you why. People say just lock duelists like Reyna or something, rank up fast. And sure, that might be true at some point, right? But what I figured out is I did that myself, right? Locking duelist, locking Reyna last act, like before that. But this act, I decided not play duelist and I play initiators and all like basic support stuff, right? And well, the results are pretty great, right? Because I had a negative win rate last act with like just playing duelist mostly, but this act, it's different. I have a really solid stats, and it's not because I dropped 40 kills, not because I dropped 30. It's something else, and let me tell you, I'll get to the reason in a bit. But look at the stats. It proves you, right? It proves the point. Now, going back to a point I made where people will tell you to play Reyna and stuff and duelist rank up, not everybody is made for a duelist, right? Not every person likes to play duelist. And I was one of them, right? I used to be like, oh, I am forced to play duelist because I want to be able to carry, I want to rank up. Well, technically, yeah, sure, but like pushing, like entering in requires a lot of work from the team, like itself, for you to like build like entry successfully as a duelist. And most people can't do that, right? Most ranked games, like where you solo queue, especially, you won't have teammates who set you up, right? So it like sets you up for more of a failure than a success, which drastically ruins your mental, to be honest. Because like when you're entering, let's say you're entering in and like you run into a cipher trip, boom, you're dead, and your entire team's like right behind you. They're like, okay, let's rotate now, right? It gets super annoyed. And I don't think anybody is made for a duelist play, right? Like I think I'm made for initiators at this point. And let me tell you guys more about this in a second. Now, playing duelist really requires you to have a mental where you have to be confident, right? You have to be able to like get your things in. If you're lurking and stuff as a duelist, your teammates will get their mental ruin, which will ultimately lead to like a team fallout. And if your team falls out over a duelist, it's actually over. It's really hard to recover from that. So I think many people succeed on initiator roles just because you have so much more open, you have so much flexibility as an initiator, because you can be a hybrid, right? You can be a second duelist, and you can also be able to support your duelist entry, which is a big thing, right? Supporting a team actually gets the morale up like crazy. So initiator might have a more success rate than any other agent for you. Now, I'm not talking about any initiator. As you can see, I play initiator who is hybrid, right? They can flash, they can entry themselves if they have to. I don't play no like recon stuff like Sova. I don't play no like Fade. I play duelists like Sky, KO, right? And those, if your duelist die, you can be a duelist now, right? You can be the one. But if your duelist is alive, you can set them up for success, which means you win more rounds, right? It's not about like who gets the frag. It's about if you win the round or not. And if you win rounds, if you're able to set up a duelist, then that's already a point for you. Now, you'd be like, well, I mean, I want to get all the frags though. Like, I'm not going to get frags in Sky and stuff like that. I want to play the arena. No, you're absolutely wrong. My stats are not crazy with Sky and KO, but they're okay. They're pretty crazy with Reina. But guess what? I win more games with Sky and KO and stuff. Why? Because I can flash for my team, right? I can dog. I can provide so much more util, and I have more util to use to play around on post play and stuff where it actually matters, where the round actually matters and counts, right? So I think you'll find more success with Initiator if you are able to go there. If you cannot play Initiator whatsoever, sure, don't do it. But I feel in this meta of Valorant right now, Initiator have the biggest impact in the game than any other like agent, any other kind of team you can ever make. So just being able to set up your team, and remember, initiator are valuable in every rank, right? While duelists like Reyna and Phoenix are valuable to a certain point, and after a point, they will like feel like they're useless, right? You feel like you're not getting the value out of it. So if you're not consistently dropping 20 plus a game with Reyna, you might as well just be throwing, right? So with Initiator, you can actually like farm up assists, which will basically mean more than kills at a point. Like if you get 10 assists and like you have like 5 kills and 10 assists, well, you're contributing to the team fight, right? It doesn't matter if you have only 5 kills. It matters that you have 10 assists, which means you're doing your thing and you're doing your job. And don't worry, Valorant won't punish you for having less kills. No way. If you set up a team the right way, you will win more rounds, which will ultimately make sure you get rewarded for it. Now, what about like if I'm like really feeling, if I'm really feeling confident? Sure, play duelist. I'm not saying you can't play duelist at all. If you already have an initiator or something, which I will never trust. By the way, I never trust randos with initiator. But if you have a person or a duo with initiator, go ahead and be the duelist. I'm not banning it, but I'm just saying, initiator is the most consistent role in the entire game, and it will provide you with the best util combo ever. Like initiator, I think have the best potential to do anything in this game that they want. They can lurk, they can entry, they can like be the entry, they can support their entry. It's like such a well-rounded agent, right? And like you might be like, well, what about controllers? What about like sentinels? Right, those are pretty good category, right? But remember, sentinels they have to anchor a site, and you can't really help your team at entry, right? You just have to kind of hold the flank, or like hold one side. If they go to the other side, it's actually over for you, right? So it doesn't provide with the flexibility that initiator does. Same with controller. Controller kind of has to the sure omen flash and stuff might be able to help you enter your team and post plan with Viper Molly. They might win, but like I said, they're situationals, and like with Sky Flash and stuff or KO Flash, you can like do like nice lineups and stuff maybe, and get that right. Sure, Omen Flash is great. It comes in great handy, but just remember, in all around criteria, our initiative fits the best role of hybrid as a support and a duelist, and a controller can't be duelist. Like it's not if you're thinking about a second entry as a controller, you might be trolling, and just keep that in mind when you progress. Now, what if you have a stingy duelist like who don't care, who just entry in, you let them wait for you, util and stuff? Well, remember, you're a hybrid. You are a duelist switch. So when they enter, you go in. You don't have to wait for your dog. If your person is throwing the life away, being a free recon, use them to the full potential. You don't have to always let your teammate wait for you utility. If they're not doing it, no matter what, use them as a Sova drone. You follow them up, trade them out. You have Flash as a Sky, you have Flash as a KO. If you are behind a smoke and your team is already out and your teammate dies, pop Flash out. If not, use that Flash for post plan. It's the possibilities of initiators are endless. Now, I'll tell you what, if you play initiators, you'll find that you're the most consistent. You don't have to get crazy frags. All you do is make sure you're using your util the right way and you're contributing to like the fights that you need to fight. You don't have to overcommit to a fight, never. Initiators never have to overcommit to a fight. I don't know if you guys know this or not. But duelists have to stay in a fight and win those duels, but initiators don't have to actually win those duels. They can just bait time and like dump the util on them and get them to a point where they're like just a free kill for your teammate to trade out. Initiator can also buy a lot of time, right? By flashing them when they tap the bomb, or dogging as a Sky when they like do something, or knifing as KO to disable like let's say Viper lineups, right? Like Initiator are just such a crazy agent, guys. That if you missed out on these guys, like it's actually like really bad. If you never tried Initiator, please give it a try. I mean, it's just such a consistent agent pool. So, Ansucks, if I play Initiator, will I rank up really quickly like you did? No, not necessarily, but you will become the consistent version of yourself. If you're relying on like Reyna and Phoenix to like be able to like frag out and rank up, that means you're not consistent at all. Like you're just relying on that agent. If you have a bad game, it's actually over for you. You have no util to help your team out. You have no util to help yourself out as Reyna and Phoenix. And you might with Phoenix, but like I'm saying, like you have no util to help yourself out, like Reyna or maybe like your. I mean, sure, but like I'm saying, like it's like super. You have to get the frags right to be able to count as like a Reyna or Phoenix. You have to get those frags to be able to count as like a duelist. But with Initiator, you don't have to get those frags, right? You can be consistent version of yourself. You don't have to overly rely on a fight or aim. You can be a consistent. Like you learn about game sense more with these agents than you will with Duelist, in my opinion. So just running these agents can really help you with your game knowledge overall, and also train you in the process of being consistent. So that's my opinion on this, guys. Just let me know if you guys think it's wrong. I'm always free to comments and criticism. And thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And peace out.